the Supreme Court has demanded that the presiding officer be prosecuted for defacing the ballot and making a mockery of democracy. The SC also chided the High Court in failing to conduct the elections properly. What does the directive of the Supreme Court, I would say obita dicta of the Supreme Court, means for Bharatiya Janata Party? Can SC's ruling be regarded a win for the AAP Congress alliance? I would say it's telling, because it's on the process. Obita dicta tells you the mood. But before that, let me just play out a couple of bites and then I'll show the graphics.
सारा देश और खास तौर पर चंडीगढ़ के नागरिक सर्वोच्च न्यायालय की तरफ, सुप्रीम कोर्ट की तरफ टकटकी लगाकर देख रहे थे। जो चंडीगढ़ में मेयर चुनाव का मामला है वो सर्वोच्च न्यायालय के समक्ष था। उनके 3 जजेस की एक खंडपीठ बनी थी, जिसमें जस्टिस डीवाई चंद्रचूड़ चीफ जस्टिस ऑफ इंडिया और 2 अन्य जजेस थे, जिनके सामने आज मामला लिस्ट हुआ। और उसके सामने उन्होंने बहुत ही जो स्कैथिंग रिमार्क्स किए हैं और प्रिजाइडिंग ऑफिसर के अगेंस्ट, और उन्होंने कहा कि जो 7 तारीख की मीटिंग है उसको जो है वो कैंसिल किया जाए। जो नए मेयर जो सोनकर थे, जिनको हम मेयर नहीं मानते, जो मैं समझता हूं कि गलत तरीके से मेयर बने थे, उनके प्रिजाइडिंग अफसर के गलत वोटों के निशान लगाने के कारण उस मीटिंग को भी उन्होंने कैंसिल किया। 5 बजे तक रिकॉर्ड भी जो रजिस्ट्रार जनरल है यहाँ पर हाई कोर्ट के, उनके पास जमा कराने को कहा है। और साथ ही साथ उन्होंने बहुत ज्यादा तीखी तलख टिप्पणियां जो है प्रिजाइडिंग अफसर के रोल पर कही है। उन्होंने कहा कि ऐसे व्यक्ति के खिलाफ तो मुकदमा दर्ज होना चाहिए। मैं समझता हूं कि सुप्रीम कोर्ट ने न्याय किया है। सुप्रीम कोर्ट ने इस मैटर को समझा है, मामले की गंभीरता को समझते हुए सही फैसला जो उन्होंने, सही ऑब्जर्वेशन उन्होंने दिया है। और हमें उम्मीद है कि अगले सोमवार को जब ये मामला लगेगा तो पूरा दूध का दूध और पानी का पानी कर दिया जाएगा और चंडीगढ़ में दोबारा से मेयर चुनाव होगा और जनता के प्रतिनिधियों द्वारा चुना हुआ व्यक्ति, इसे हमारा इंडिया अलायंस वोट डालना चाहते था, उसे मेयर बनाकर बिठाया जाएगा।
जहां पे आम आदमी पार्टी और कांग्रेस गठजोड़ के जितने हमारे एमसी थे उनको बहुमत प्राप्त था। ये बिल्कुल सामने दिखाई दे रहा था कि एक तरफ 20 एमसी हैं और दूसरी तरफ बीजेपी के पास 16 एमसी है। वहां पे बीजेपी के एक आदमी द्वारा, मैं समझता हूं क्योंकि बीजेपी का बन गया वो अधिकारी, उस अधिकारी ने जैसे बीजेपी का कार्यकर्ता होता है ऐसे काम करके दिन दिहाड़े लोकतंत्र की हत्या की और दिन दिहाड़े हत्या करके जितने हमारे बैलेट बोर्ड थे उन पे अपने पेन से उन मार्क किया ताकि उनको इनवैलिड डिक्लेयर किया जाए। जी आपके कैमरों ने, जो मीडिया है, जो मैं समझता लोकतंत्र को बचाने वाला एक हमारा 4th पिलर है, उसने उस चोरी को पकड़ा। आज देश की सर्वोच्च अदालत ने ये टिप्पणियां की हैं कि देश के लोकतंत्र को का इस इलेक्शन में मर्डर हुआ है, कत्ल हुआ है। सो मैं समझता हूं आज बीजेपी को नाक डुबो के मर जाना चाहिए। जब बीजेपी ने ऐसा कलंकित किया है देश के लोकतंत्र को, देश कभी माफ नहीं करेगा। देखिए चंडीगढ़ बहुत खूबसूरत शहर है देश का। यहां मैं समझता हूं पंजाब की, हरियाणा की, दोनों स्टेटों की असेंबलियां भी हैं और हमारी ज्वाइंट हाई कोर्ट भी है। यहाँ कार्यपालिका भी है, न्यायपालिका भी है, विधान पालिका भी है। उस तीनों के जगह जहां तीनों एस्टैब्लिश हैं, वहां पे लोकतंत्र को मार देना, लोकतंत्र का कत्ल कर देना, ये कलंक जो है वो बीजेपी के माथे पे लगा है।
Okay. In my studio, I am joined by my input editor, Brijesh Pandey. I am also joined by Dr. Dharinder Tayal, spokesperson of the BJP Chandigarh. Bikramjit Passi, spokesperson of AAP Chandigarh. I will also be joined by Vipin Pabbi, senior journalist, very soon. Thank you all of you for joining me. Can you put this story in perspective, Brijesh?
I think, what the Supreme Court has done is that stopping short of ordering a fresh election, the Supreme Court has said everything. The Supreme Court has called it a murder of democracy. Supreme Court had even taken the Punjab and Haryana High Court to task for not for making sure that that election is conducted properly. He has questioned the role of the presiding officer and saying that strict action and a case should be filed against him. So I think whatever the allegations which were leveled by by the Aam Aadmi Party and Congress Party, it was almost all of them were validated by the Supreme Court oral observation, and also the fact that that they've asked the Punjab and Haryana High Court to submit all the proper procedures, all the evidences to the registrar of the Supreme Court by 5th, and the next date for hearing is on 12th. I think it's a severe blow for the administration of Chandigarh.
Okay, so first I'll go to, fair enough. That's very well the way you have put it. Let me go across to Bikramjit Passi. So what do you make of the observations of the obita dicta in the Supreme Court?
Namaskar. The Supreme Court once more proved that the Supreme Court of India and courts of India are in the favor of democracy. They know that democracy is must. Democracy is must for the Indian country, for the Indian people. And Supreme Court has rightly observed that it was a murder of democracy. And the Supreme Court has rightly stated that why the presiding officer was looking towards the cameras. Why he was looking towards the cameras? Why he was using pen? These observations clearly proves that whatever happened in Chandigarh and whatever Aam Aadmi Party has stated, the allegations are true because in daylight, democracy was murdered, democracy was killed. And we have faith upon our judicial system. That's why we said, you have listened so many times from our leaders that we have faith in our democracy, we have faith in our courts. Whenever the ruling party tries, or in earlier, in past, they tried to kill the democracy, they tried to snatch the rights of the people, always courts come in the picture, came to save the democracy, and this has happened today also. And we are hopeful that the final verdict will definitely set an example that in India, people's, courts, and every right-minded person knows.
Okay,
Well,
point taken,
there,
Mr. Pasi. Point taken,
no
Mr.
one
Pasi.
can be allowed
I think
to disturb
it's an important day for you because Supreme Court has said a lot of things. Dr. Harinder Tayal, how do you look at the opita dicta, sir, of the Supreme Court?
Yeah, so thank you so much. And hearing Mr. Pasi, before I get to what you have asked me, I think it is very good to hear the Aam Aadmi Party saying that the courts, they appreciate what the courts are saying and their trust in the courts, because till a couple of days back, till they were not getting the bails from the courts. Manish Sisodia was not getting bails from the courts. The Aam Aadmi Party had been maintaining that the courts have been hijacked. In fact, a couple of days back, on this very subject, I was on a debate where it was a Punjabi debate where they were saying कि court केड़ा उत्ते गिरदा, which means court कौन सा ऊपर गिरेगा. So that is that was the spokesperson of Aam Aadmi Party, and that is the way the trust of the Aam Aadmi Party. I think one thing, probably, I don't know whether Mr. Pasi is an advocate or not, but any advocate will tell you that ultimately it is the order which has been passed which is consequential, right? Otherwise, what happens in court stays in the court, because we have to understand that and restrain ourselves from passing any judgments on what has been said in the court unless it forms a part of the order that has been passed. That is well known, and I mean, it is an established principle. We are not to, there is no way that we will be drawing our own judgments from there, or commenting on that. Matter is sub judice. Whatever the judges will decide is very welcome. However, if anybody had heard, I mean, I know this, that Mr. Tushar Mehta, the Solicitor General of India, he had asked the judges that, sir, you have to see the entire video, you have to get into what was happening. The Anil Masih was signing the ballot papers. So the ballot papers, whether he has defaced them, marked them, not marked them, is yet to be seen, because the ballot papers still haven't reached the courts.